So you have your Jaffa Cakes. You have your brew. You know what time it is. Hello, welcome, I'm Devil Sniper, this is episode 19, and we have to start off with a home game against West Bromwich Albion, and I have to give you some bad news. Carlton Cole is carrying a stomach bug. He says he's fit to play. I've taken a risk, and I'm going to start with Carlton Cole. Hopefully he will make at least 60-70 minutes, hopefully the whole game, I really do hope, but we'll have to see. And as you can see, unfortunately, a 4-point gap has formed between ourselves and Fulham. Not good. That 10th position seems to be slowly getting out of our grasp, unless we can conjure 3 points against West Bromwich Albion. But West Bromwich Albion have other things on their mind. They break down the right hand side, a fantastic ball in from the right, but Jack the Tank Butland stops it. Gabs picks the ball up. So many West Brom defenders. He's forced to cut back inside, to cut across the edge of the penalty box. He has one thing in mind. He shoots, and it's just wide. But we pick the action up again with Gabs. He's cutting across the top of the box, and again West Brom are just defending in huge numbers. He feeds it into Sissoko. Sissoko feeds it back to him. He turns, he shoots, it's safe, and the follow-up is cleared. And unfortunately, Carlton Cole does have to go off, and we bring on Andy Carroll. Noble picks up the ball on the right hand side. He feeds it into Gabs. This time he's cutting in from the right, going across the top of the box, and again he's forced back. He has to turn back on himself because of the sheer numbers. He spies Sissoko. Sissoko picks the ball up. He turns inside, gives it to Carroll. Carroll turns. Oh my god, he has one thing in his mind. He shoots, he scores, top corner. Oh my god, he's back. Come on, Andy Carroll. Come on, West Ham. That is phenomenal. What a goal. Look at that turn. Look at that turn. What a finish. 1-0 West Ham. And that's the way it stayed until half time. We strolled in with our chests pumped out, winning 1-0. The second half starts off. Noble has the ball on the right hand side. He feeds it into Carroll. Carroll is just graceful at the moment. He feeds it into the ever present legend that is Diarmi, who feeds it into Shaw, who's turned into a sensational left back, who feeds it again into Diarmi. Diarmi into Gabs. Gabs turns, he shoots, and the keeper saves. And then I'm forced to make a substitution. Our talisman, Gabs, has to go off. He has a slight knock on the ankle. But never fear, Spence cuts into the middle. He feeds it back to Nolan. Nolan knocks it out of his feet. He has one thing on his mind. He shoots, and it's just turned round the post by the keeper. And the game finishes with West Ham United claiming 3 much needed points. What a game, what a result. That gives us some breathing space. Now, let's get down to business. I've spoken to O'Brien's agent, and I've spoken to O'Brien. We had a nice meal out, and in principle we've agreed a contract. All I've got to do now is actually physically offer him the contract. We have, in principle, agreed a contract. O'Brien said he would accept the contract. So, I am just so annoyed with the tabloids. They seem to get hold of something and they turn it, they twist it, they manipulate it, and it just angers me. Angers me so much that I threw a packet of Jaffa Cakes against the wall and I damaged some. That's how angry I was. It's disgraceful. I didn't throw my cup this time, and nor did Andy Carroll break my cup. But I'm just so angry that I'm just, agents really do my head in, and the tabloids really do my head in. So as I said, we're going to offer him a contract in principle. But when I got back to the office, I logged into the database and I thought to myself, I'll check some of the contracts out, because there's a few lads that I feel, are coming to the end of their contracts and I want to sign them. I want to secure their services. Now, I don't want to let them go on a free transfer, and I don't want to particularly let them go on a cheap. I want to keep them at the club because I do feel they have potential. So we're going to stroll through the contracts. Gabs is so important. I'm so in two minds. Do I offer him a 20-year contract, or do I keep him on a 5-year, something sensible? But yeah, Spence, I think you guys will agree. He's coming to the team. He has been really a phenomenal player. To be fair, he's done really well. He's still learning his trade. He's got a lot to learn still, but I have faith in him, and I think he could be a really good player. And I feel that his future should lie at Upton Park. Now, legit, as you know, he played in that cup game, the FA Cup. the away game to Stevenage, and I thought it was fantastic. I watched him in reserve games. You know, the lad, every time I watch him, really does impress me. Great first touch, great vision, a lot of potential for me. I really think we should sign him. And then, if it doesn't work, you know, we'll move them on. But I feel at this moment in time, he's doing really, really well, and he deserves to wear the claret and blue of West Ham. Now, there's some people who I feel who are taking the Michael and don't deserve to wear the claret and blue. So, basically, what we agreed with O'Brien in principle was a 3-year contract, $5,000 a week, and a clean sheet bonus, which I gave him. I gave him exactly what he wanted, so hopefully he will accept it, he will take it, and he'll be happy. Now, Carlton Cole. This was a lot of dilemmas, but Carlton rang me and said, you know, I don't want an increase in wages. I don't want you to give me more money. I just want to stay at West Ham because I love West Ham. So, do you know what I mean? That is an unbelievable professional for me, and I gave him the contract. You know, I gave him an additional contract. I didn't increase his money the way he wanted it, and yeah, I gave him the contract. And I'm dead chuffed with that. And I didn't offer Gabs a new contract. He still has 2 years. I probably will consider doing that at the end of next season, end of season 2. I think we'll definitely be giving him a new contract because he's just phenomenal. So, moving on. We have an extremely tough game. We have to go to Anfield. You know, the games are coming thick and fast, and they're not getting any easier. You know, there's nothing worse than going to Anfield. It's a tough ground to play at. Passionate fans, and it's just going to be a horrible game. You know, it's the good thing about Anfield. The pitch is fantastic, and we can knock the ball around gracefully because we are the Barcelona of East London. And Andy Carroll picks up the ball on the right hand side. He feeds it through to O'Brien. O'Brien breaks into the box. He gets a cross in, and it's slightly deflected. It takes all the power out of the ball, and the keeper easily gathers it. But Liverpool, it just reels them. It just riles them. They become a scorpion. They break down the right-hand side. Shashin gets the ball in. A fantastic shot by Allen is somehow put over. I don't know how he missed that. I'm glad he did, though, but I'm not sure how he did. We pick up the ball with Sissoko. Look at that. He is just phenomenal. The man is just a bloody tank. O'Brien knocks the ball into Diame into centre midfield. He strolls forward gracefully. He puts it into Gabs. Gabs is back in the side. The ankle injury wasn't too bad. He turns, he shoots, and it's deflected wide. The pressure's building. Potts crosses the ball in. It's defended admirably by Liverpool. It comes to Carroll. He feeds it into Gabs. Gabs turns. He shoots. He scores. Top corner. 1-0. West Ham. Oh my God. What a bloody goal. That was sensational. What a ball by Andy Carroll. One touch. Top corner. World bloody class. World class. That boy is unbelievable. He is the talisman. I really do feel he's just about knocked Diame off his pedestal, but not quite, because Diame is just a legend. And saying that, Sissoko is a legend. Second half begins. Sloppy defending allow Liverpool in. Great ball over, but Jack Butland is just there to get his fingertips to it. And somehow we clear up the damage. But Liverpool are just unrelenting. They keep pouring forward. Fantastic ball after fantastic ball. Yet another amazing save from Jack Butland. How he is not England's number one, I just don't know. It's ridiculous. But I feel some legs are really, really tired. Liverpool are running as ragged, so I have to make some changes. I take off Sissoko, Sterling and Redmond. Purely Sissoko because he has put in such a phenomenal shift. I mean, that guy covered 9 kilometres. That's a huge amount of distance on this game. That is redonkulous. Liverpool have a corner. Comes to nothing. Butler knocks the ball out. It's going up. Carroll goes for the header. Doesn't quite get hold of it. And Liverpool retain possession. And Liverpool, the one thing I found with Liverpool is they're fantastic at keeping the ball. They feed the ball forward with a long ball. Suarez knocks it into Lucas. Lucas fills it into the new striker who shoots and scores. As Sadi in the 78th minute makes it 1-1. We just could not hold on. The pressure was just unrelenting. And Liverpool were just too strong. But in the 92nd minute, we break. We give the ball away, but Leggett picks it up. He knocks it through to O'Brien. O'Brien gracefully moves forward. He sticks the cross in. Andy Carroll has his moment. Can he inflict pain on Liverpool? No. The ball just goes over. And the game ends 1-1. Should we be disappointed? Of course not. Absolutely, of course not. That's 4 points from 2 games. That's the difference we needed to make up on Fulham. We've done it. You know, we've got the 4 points we needed. Hopefully Fulham haven't got the results they needed. As you can see, Leggett takes the contract. And I've got to say, you know, going to Anfield is a tough place to go to, and I think the boys done me proud. I am dead chuffed with the lads. They really, really, really did do us proud. And to be quite frank, I am extremely chuffed. Now, let's have a look at some of the season stats. Let's see how we're sitting now in the Premier League race. Is it me, or do you sit there and you think to yourself, 11th position, we're level with Fulham, that's fantastic. But do you think to yourself, if we could turn those 17 draws into 10 draws, add the points on, we'd actually be sitting in 6th position. Too many draws have really, really cost us this season. And to be honest, the only person who we can blame for that is myself. You know, the lads have done everything I've asked for them. You know, they give 120% every time we go on that pitch. They play their absolute hearts out. They train magnificently. You know, the lads are really supportive. And at the end of the day, it comes down to my tactics, my formation selection. Perhaps my team selection on certain away games, certain home games has just not been up to scratch. And that has cost us a few results, which is really disappointing. But hopefully there's still time to change that. You know, hopefully the board have got faith in me. Hopefully you guys have got faith in me. And I believe we can break into that top 6. I believe West Ham are a top 6 side. I believe we can even push for the unbelievable dream of a Premier League title. I believe it's possible. And look at that. Gabs is on the top scorers ranking. 8 goals. He's ranked 25th. I think that's phenomenal. I really do think that's phenomenal. You know, he's had a hard time. He's come from Argentina. He's had a hard time settling in. You know, it's not as if it's hot, it's warm over here. You know, it's raining week in, week out. It's windy, it's cold. He took time to settle. And now I feel he's settled and he is one of the best players in the Premier League. He really is fantastic. And look at that, Jack Butland. Jack Butland, you know, many people were surprised that I bought him to West Ham. And I think, I personally feel, you know, vindicated, because being a goalkeeper is hard enough, but to have 11 clean sheets in the Premier League is just phenomenal, especially when you consider he is a young lad. You know, he still has so much potential, so many years ahead. He's going to be, in my eyes, he's going to be the West Ham #1 for years to come. For years to come. Yes, he's made mistakes. Yes, he's made errors. But come on, guys. That's part and parcel of being a goalkeeper and a football player. You know, you have to make mistakes to learn. And not being funny, look at that ranking. 7.9 match average. That's just phenomenal. And the statistics just speak for themselves, to be honest. You know, he really, really has been an absolute diamond. Look, I mean, he's 20 years old, you know. He really is fantastic. Remember, we picked him up for 1.3 million. He's now worth 3.5. We've increased. If we wanted to sell him, we would get a mint for him. Easily get a mint for him. But that's one thing I really don't want to do. Joey O'Brien, you know, what an interesting season we've had with Joey. Diego Reyes, you know, he's come in. Yet another young lad. I know I've taken a risk, but you know, the guys who scouted him had firm belief in him, and I have firm belief in him. I think he's going to be a fantastic player. He's already gone up in value, and I believe he is going to be a phenomenal centre-back. Winston Reid, he's just getting better and better and better and better. Week in, week out, that boy is just phenomenal. He just really does deliver every time he walks onto that pitch. He's made a few errors, but to be fair, we've all made a few errors, so now I'm not fussed. This lad, Potsy, oh my god, little Potsy. You know, I've bought in Luke Shaw, which is probably, you know, Potsy's probably thinking to himself, Jesus Christ, what do I have to do? What do I have to do? And when you look at his statistics, I mean, look at all of that green. You know, apart from goalkeeping, everything has increased and increasing. You know, he's doing a phenomenal job. He's 19 years old. He is brilliant. And I've got to say, you know, Probably our best signing is Jack Butland. Maybe Gabs. Perhaps you guys could tell me who you actually think our best signing is. But I tell you what, Sissoko as a signing. I know he cost us 5 million. I know I was a little bit disappointed that we had an argument to lose. They wanted 1.8 and they kept pushing the price up because they knew we wanted him. And we did have to pay over the top for him. But I think 5 million, looking at it now, is an absolute snip. And come on. He has to be our... Is he our talisman? Is he our talisman? I mean, his vision has gone up by +7. His attacking position by +6. The boy is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm really chuffed with Sterling. And one thing I would say to Sterling, which I probably will do when I sit down with the lads at the end of the season, he's got to be patient. I know he wants to play every game. I know he wants to play regular football. But, he's a young lad. I don't want to overplay him. I don't want to get him injured. He's just got to take his time. He's just got to use his brain a bit more. Sometimes he gets in great attacking positions and he just doesn't use his brain. But that will come with experience and playing games, Now this lad, there we go. I mean, need I say more? Look at that. He's netted 11 times. 36 games, 11 goals. I don't think that's a bad return from the lad, to be fair. I really do like him. He is quite ugly, so therefore he is Carlos Tevez version 2 for me, 100%. Nathan Redmond. I'm still sceptical about this lad. In training he really does put in a good shift, but I just don't know. He's just not fully performing in the Premier League. It is a huge step up. Andy Carroll, how are we going to replace this lad? He's not as been a consistent scorer as we hoped, but he's been doing really well. And how are we going to replace him when he goes back to Liverpool? It's going to be an interesting one. James Ward-Prowse hasn't really had much of a look in. It's difficult for him to get a look in when you've got such players as Sissoko and Diame and Noble and Kevin Nolan. Same with Leggett, but look at their statistics. They're really, really doing well. I'm dead chuffed with these two. Ward-Prowse we bought for 450,000. He's improving already. Leggett, we gave him that opportunity against Stevenage in the FA Cup and he hasn't looked back. He really has just got better and better and better. Matty Phillips, fantastic player. He is improving. But I tell you what, his consistency level is just appalling. He really needs to find a good level of consistency and then he'll be in the team more. But he can't find it, so it's hard to justify giving him a place. Jordan Spence, the green does the talking. The boy's really doing well. Fantastic little player. But there's something about him, I don't know. We've got Hewitt as well, who's a fantastic little right back. So much potential, it's ridiculous. Tompkins, finally settled down. We've had some falling outs, we've had some wranglings with him, but hopefully that's all behind us now and we can settle down and get on with playing football. Matty Jarvis again. I know Sam Allardyce bought him, and he bought a good player. But Matty's the same as Matty Phillips. He's just got to get a level of consistency to force his way into the team. I can't afford to be playing players who are just not at the races every week. And look at Luke Shaw, 17 years old. We bought him for 475 grand. The boy is phenomenal. He really is phenomenal. Honestly, I am so chuffed with this recommendation. The lads who scouted him done a fantastic job. He is an absolute bloody gem, a real gem. He gives 100% week in, week out. And Fisher, this guy is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. He's got such a majestic first touch, fantastic first touch. He's going to improve. He's going to be, pushing Noble and Nolan for playing in the forward position for Cam, even Sterling on the left. And as I said, Elliot Hewitt, look at that lad. 18 years old, he's coming, he's settled down as if he's been at the club for 18 years. It's ridiculous, really good player. Noble, he's just a fantastic professional, a real absolute trooper of a professional. Great lad as well off the park. Matt Taylor can't get in the side, Gary O'Neill can't get in the side. Captain Marvel, we don't need to say much about Captain Marvel, he is just purely Captain Marvel. Now every time he puts on the claret and blue, he delivers. Simple as that, he delivers. A fantastic performance. If I ever need to go to anybody, if I have to make a tough choice, Kevin O'Neill will either sacrifice himself or he'll be the lad to do the business for me. Collins, he's such a sturdy centre-back, He reminds me a little bit of Vidic. He's got that aggression about him. And I like that aggression. I like that bit of aggression. I like that bit of anger. Ravel Morrison. A few people have asked me about him. He's doing alright away. You know, all the lads on loan are doing really well. Really chuffed with them. I've watched them all. I've gone to all their games. Not every single game, but I have gone to a few games. So they're doing really well. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. And I'll catch you later for episode 20.